Welcome, this is Nathan and welcome back to another video. Today we're continuing to take a look at a scenario where civilization restarts. Now, I have something to say. I know everyone's been waiting for today, because I said something about, the community poll, how this is going to be made today, and yes, that major thing is still coming. I've had trouble recording it, but it has something linked with this series. What? Spoiling anything? It's got to be something to do with the map. I don't know whether I want to do explanations. I feel like you can look from the thumbnails. But yeah, the yellow team's now moved. That's kind of the biggest thing. Asia started to be colonized and then some other rebellions and stuff. Today we might see the semi-collapse of one of my, I don't want to say it, but one of my favourites. I protect them like a child. But before we get to this, let's focus in the new world, I guess. Not really the new world, is it? Anyway, we have the yellowish team expanding the borders out. Now, this Chinese team has got to be careful because they are getting pretty big. And you know what happens when countries get too big? They implode. Unless you can keep it together, like... To be honest, nobody's really kept it together. I think we're going to prove that with some big breakaways from countries. But, yeah, the yellow team is going really quick with expansion. And the other two are trying to be slow. They aren't trying to go quick, but they're trying to be slow. You get what I mean? Speaking of slow, I don't think the purple team's being slow, as purple team will take over all of Korea. Yeah, I know. They heard some rumors that the explorers that explore down here told them that there's some good land. There definitely was, but the capital is probably still the most major city. Yeah, they do expand about from the capital, but they don't really do it much because this is their main focus. Anyway, moving away from that mess, we have a new mess happening in Europe. Europe is, in my opinion, the most unstable continent in the world. Asia really isn't. There's only a few countries that have internal problems. Turquoise team being one of them. This yellow team in China, I guess. This red team up here, not the actual red team, they're fine. This baby blue team and the yellow team. They are really the only countries that have issues, really. But over here, you have the green team, the brown, the chocolate team, the gold team, the cyan team, the burgundy team, the peach team, the orange team is absolutely fine. The lime team, every country here is struggling. And I got proof of the collapse of the violet team, because, like, they were a pretty big country, but they just collapsed. But before we see the collapse of, not really the collapse, we are but going to see a little semi-collapse. We have the chocolate team doing a risk. They enter into Britain. Yeah, but Britain is finally being colonized, and it's by the chocolate team. They may be, not going to say anything, but the chocolate team may be one of my favorites. Not saying anything, but they may be one of my favorites. Cyan team... they don't really do much. They know Sweden exists, but they're just not really in the mood to go to it. They're not a country that cares about expansion all that much. But they're really unstable. And they're one of the strongest in Europe, so that's kind of dumb. Anyway, the green team is collapsing. This has kind of been seen by everybody in the world at this point. The green team's had problems this whole series. They had the lime team break away, the green team break away, and now they're experiencing it again. This time, they're gonna crumble like glass. So let's take a look at it. Yeah, when I said a collapse, I really meant a collapse. They're not gonna die. That would be a bit extreme, but the green team is now crumbling like just regular, I guess. Actually, surprisingly, there are no provinces joining up with other countries. That's because all the other countries around here have their own problems, so they will be doing the same thing. The peach, I would say the the Peach Brown team over here is the only one anybody was even considering joining. Maybe this one. But you see, the grey team snapped this area in half, which, you know what happens. The green team's navy was really good, but now it's rubbish. Like, they can't even go trade through here. That's because the navy is dying. Yeah, let's just say this Greek country may have blew up some of the boats. I guess there'll be boats, not really ships. Pirate ships, you get what I mean? Well, still in that time, like pirate ships and stuff. Maybe dinghies, no, that's... Okay, whatever. But yeah, we kind of see this entire route to declare its independence, and, yeah. So at this point, the green team is now just falling apart, like, so rapidly. Outside countries want to join, but nobody's going to be even bothering to join this war. So we see the green team agree to peace. So let's take a look at that peace treaty. Anyway, with that collapse, we see Europe become a lot more free. Yeah. So basically, because the green team peace and didn't fight on until their death, we see that they lost a lot more land. The grey team took a big chunk, and we actually saw another release. But yeah, the green team is now dead, basically. They are now a shell of what they were. It kind of only leaves 2 OG nations if you really count it, because, like, that's now 2. Like, the purple team's gone, the yellow team is weak, the green team's weak, the blue and red team are the last 2 OGs, really. Anyway, red team's gonna be expansion, I guess. What? Red team's not expansionist, and you already know where they're gonna be attacking. The poor old little purpley country over here. They've done nothing, and really, they don't deserve this. They were just somebody who broke away from the red team, but the red team wants them back in their empire. So the red team smacks them into oblivion and just annexes the country. Yeah, they didn't stand a chance. Now, the people in the red team are beginning to think, wow, our country is very aggressive. And it's been probably the most aggressive country in the series, other than the orange team. One team I wouldn't say really was aggressive. Anyway, yeah, the red team is now getting very large. Probably the biggest country in the world. I say that because I don't know about the turquoise team, but I think it's safe to say they are. Anyway, no news in Africa. Really dead over here. Nothing really happening. Again, nothing really in Asia. The world is quite peaceful. Well, that's what you think. See, again, there's a lot of countries that have inner issues. A lot of these new countries that just broke away from the green team have their own issues. Especially some of the bigger ones, so yeah. Chocolate team is getting it on with. They're fixing some stuff, but they may not be able to keep it together. Gold team is actually fine now. They're quite good. They're probably the strongest country now in Europe, to me, to be honest. I don't know, actually. Chocolate team probably is, but they're probably number 2, or actually, like, orange team, strongest country in Europe. If I had to put rankings, I'd probably put red number 1, turquoise number 2, orange number 3, chocolate 4. Again, I don't really know after that. I don't know where the rankings would be exactly after the chocolate team. It would either be the dark green team or the cyan team. Anyway, these guys are doing some expansion upwards. Now, the people really are not in favour of this. They literally said to the government, we are already in crippling debt. Why do you want to expand our country out further, putting in more debt? Governments have no answers to it. They're just doing this because they want to do it. The blue team especially, it doesn't go well for the people. The people are really not in support of it. But the blue team doesn't listen, and they take over a massive piece of land. The yellow team does something similar, but the people are kind of in support for the yellow team. Because, well, you know, the yellow team now is kind of just, again, a shell of itself. Not really much going on here. They are probably one of the weakest countries in the world. But they do attempt to take over some land in maybe Central Asia, which goes horribly. They also expand out upwards, which at this point they're getting very large. But anyway, it's time for a new country to form, because I feel like it's been a while. A group of settlers from Europe that don't want to have the chaos anymore are gonna, like every single country that has people in it, everyone comes together in a group, in the grey team, and literally just sets out. They go away from everything. They set out through multiple countries, through the lime team, through the red team, through the green and the blue team, down through here, through the turquoise team. Now obviously, this is kind of following trade routes. So trade routes don't expand outwards after here, so where are they going to go? Well, they just kind of go wherever they want. They go into the brown team, and then that's unexplored land. Nobody knows what's past there. Well, they kind of do, I guess. But we see them set up... Sorry, I have some colour. That is a horrible shit. We see them set up right here. Now, this is a power, if you've ever seen one. The amount of people moving to this, like, there is a lot. So it gets support very quickly into expanding. We see them immediately connect up with the Chinese team up here. And the Chinese team is just like, what the hell? Yes, this is becoming a very big influence of power. And more of the world is looking to Asia as kind of a new reset, if you really think of it. Nobody really wants to be in the old world. They just want a reset. They just want a new start and a new fresh country. We see the support of Asian countries for expanding go really high, except for the yellow team. The green team becomes very large as they take over most of the coast, which was in support of the people. Oh yeah, this country's new capital. Where is it going to be? I don't care at this point. There, whatever. Don't care enough. The brown team is... Well, they're allies with the turquoise team. That's something I've got to say. But the turquoise team kind of follows them around in a nice way. So the turquoise team will help the brown team expand up to the border of the blue team. Now, why this? Well, I think you already know where this is going. It's going about trade routes. So, we have trade routes now going downwards and expanding into the green team's capital. But they stop there and they go upwards. Now, this really, and I mean really angers the little green team down here. They wanted the trade route to go into their country, but the turquoise team said that would cost resources we're not willing to spend. The little green team is like, it would benefit us and you. Because people would have to go down to us, go up through the other countries, and it would basically make them have to buy more stuff. Again, the turquoise team is saying, I don't care, we're not building it through you. So on a risky move, the little green team down here will start building its own trade route, going into the green team, heading into the newly built trade route. Immediately, not recognizing these people, the dark green army fires at them, killing all of them. And we see a war break out, sadly. So, if you know where this is going, it's really obvious. The dark green team is extremely powerful, and they're just going to slam right into this poor country. The people, it was their fault, really. The country gets slammed. And the country is fully annexed. So the poor little country down there didn't really survive long. Now you might be wondering, does this affect the trade route? Well, they're just going to demolish it because it's useless. So the trade route that was built by those people is demolished and is continued. At this point, it's starting to get really quick in the building, as the brown team is even starting to help. The trade will now they will now connect up, and it's now heading towards the blue team's capital, which is a pretty big step. As it heads into the blue team's capital, we can see Asia is becoming very popular to want to move to. Trade routes over here going well, I guess. Trade route over here just connected, as well as heading down between these countries. It's starting to go up into this one, and also through the yellow team's capital. Trade routes in Asia have been put on a hold. Europe. They were going pretty quick, but after the collapse of the green team, we saw a big economic drop in, like, the world, basically. But as we can see, trade routes are going really well. They've nearly connected up trade routes between every country in the world. This is where the green team collapsed, the trade routes. It was also rolled up into the cyan team, but this is where they kind of had to stop, because, well, you know, there's no green team to help you build it anymore. However, the red team did just do that to help this team, which they appreciate it. And we can see that Asia and Africa now have been connected up by trade routes. So yeah, that's it for trade routes for now. So a lot more gonna happen in this video. I told you it's a big video. It's gonna be the longest What is Civilization Restart video yet. The gold team, it's an interesting discussion. It went to all the violet team, it broke away from the peach team, and it's going to continue expanding upwards into the Arctic, basically. Now again, I said this is not a very stable country, and it isn't. So the Baltic region just says, what the hell are you doing? We didn't agree to this, we're breaking away. So the Baltic region breaks away, and the gold team is just like, okay, that was unnecessary. That capital, I guess, will be in Riga. Not really got anything to do with Monday. We can see that Russia is not really being taken over as much, because it's pretty, you know, how do I put it this way? It's Arctic. That's the only way I can put it, really. We kind of see a deal being made between the blue and the green team down here to connect the two up. Now this is mostly done by the blue team, because again, they are getting a massive amount of population, especially because of the trade route. So we see most of it being done by them, but they basically took over most of it. Little green country down here just quickly rushes in and grabs this chunk of land. They know Taiwan exists. They can't really colonize it. They're not strong enough. The Chinese team up here is getting very, big. And you might be wondering, how is it getting big? We haven't seen it expand. I'll show you. Yeah, they're getting big and nobody's in support for this. They're wasting resources, and they're not really doing what the blue team is doing, which is getting the people in favour of it. Same with the purple team, they're kind of just doing it on their own case. They're doing it because they want land. But I guess at least their land is valuable, which this land is mostly just desert, if I'm correct. Nobody cares to go to Central Asia. Good reason. Himalayas. Everybody is terrified. Yeah, even the Turquoise team is terrified. Nobody wants to even try the Himalayas. The only country even willing to do such a thing would probably be the Turquoise team, but they're not even in the mood for it. Anyway, the final thing for this video is gonna be, the beach team dying. Yeah, they didn't last long, did they? The orange team went to war with the peach team to wipe them off the map because they were a breakaway, and well, it went as planned. Let's just say that. Let me just fix this because it looks horrible. There we go. And the orange team will now expand this way out, taking over again a big chunk of land. And at this point, the orange team is becoming very large and very, let's just say, unstable. They keep it together though. They're really being like said stop by the people, but the recent leaders of this country have goals which, let's just say, may look like this. Yeah, they're not going to be able to do that. Sure, the red team has its own goals, but at least they can keep it together. I mean, well, this thing's just going on a rampage. I mean, the red team doesn't invade for a few episodes, invades. Doesn't invade for a few episodes, invades. And not to spoil anything for the next episode, but yeah, red team troops are now bordering on the baby blue team. And they're not the only one. Red team isn't the only one that's building troops up. The blue team is, as well as the yellow team. So, yep, the baby blue team may not have much longer. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.